This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, highlighting all of Section 3, interviewing the greatest local coaches and athletes. Brought to you by SummitCars.com, broadcasting in the ESPN studios. Here's your host, Mike Bristol, and Eagle Newspapers' Phil Blackwell.
It doesn't get any better than being able to broadcast with the great Phil Blackwell, ladies and gentlemen. Phil, crazy night last night. Blake and I caught the second half of the Marcellus Salve game. Blake got a picture with the Mustang and I, which was awesome. But what a great game. Mustangs took a loss, but a terrific football game. So many great games out there. How about Joe Sidoni and his crew?
Well, how about Caden Meridian?
Cadio, that's right.
Caden Meridian going and shutting out Skinny Atlas 40 to nothing. That was one of the most impressive single game performances we've seen all year. But that wasn't alone. You also had Carthage routing Indian River, asserting itself as the Class A team to beat. You had Liverpool having to make a comeback from a 21-7 deficit to beat Corcoran 22-21 to keep pace with Utica Proctor, who beat Baldwinsville to stay atop the A2 division. And you had the game we mentioned, Salve knocking off Marcellus 42-35, ending what had been a 12-year drought in terms of the Bearcats not beating the Mustangs, gaining a playoff berth, their biggest victory in a long time for that Salve program, and could lead to bigger things for the Bearcats. But we'll go through a lot of this stuff during the program.
What was the most, in your eyes, when you were out last night? You talked about Cato. What was the most like explosive play that you saw?
Well, I mean, looking from Salve's perspective, I mean, three times in this game, when Marcellus was threatening, Salve come up with big pass plays. Brock Bogozzi throwing deep, finding it was either Scott or it was Tarbell. It was two different guys for long touchdown passes. One came just before halftime when it was 21-21. Two others came in the second half. That gave Salve the cushion to withstand Marcellus's comeback attempts. But that's where Salve might have a different... And they were doing this, mind you, without their top running back, Jamin Bliss, who left the game early with an injury and came back. But that's where Salve can really get people because they have that passing threat. Bogozzi, a proven senior quarterback, one of the best in the area, no doubt about it. And he can take Salve to great places this year.
All right, we've got a great program for you. We're going to kick things off with our Wegmans winning spotlight interview with members of the Cicero North Syracuse boys golf team. It happened again in large school boys golf this fall. A team that didn't win the regular season title finished on top once the Section 3 championships rolled around. So CNS Syracuse's blue team was near the top of the standings, though, so it wasn't a big surprise that the North Stars were able to hold off FM, Baldwinsville, and West Genesee to earn the sectional title Wednesday at Radisson Green. So Coach Chuck Banks will be here. Four of his players, Ryan Cisco, Brian Pellegrino, Jake Nardoza, TJ Villeneuve, are all join us, yeah.
Well, with CNS Blue,
I like sometimes giving it my own twist, Phil.
Oh, yeah. With CNS Blue, I mean, they were a good team all season. They had split with Baldwinsville. They had lost a couple of tight matches to FM. You knew they were near the top, and you knew they were certainly capable of it, but they hadn't won the sectional title in several years. It was tough at Radisson on Wednesday. It was raining. It was cold. It was, I saw some greens where had leaves all over them. So, tough conditions, and there wasn't going to be low scores. The key was that CNS Blue had 4 rounds in the 70s, and no other team did, or under 80, and no other team did, and they had 5 guys advance to May in the state qualifier at Seven Oaks.
I love that, too. Following that interview, we're going to have our Summit.com spotlight interview with members of the Cazenovia boys golf team. What happened earlier this week at the Section 3 Fall Boys Golf Tournament at Rogues Roost may have been a Cinderella story, Caddyshack style.
No, literally, they promoted this whole appearance by bringing out Carl Spackler. I'm not kidding. They put that on their Twitter feed.
From out of nowhere, Cazenovia Lakers, who had a 4-10 record, 2018, completed an unlikely run in the OHSL Liberty Division Fall Tournament title, beating favored West Hill and Skinny Atlas by 1 stroke and CBA by 2 strokes. And to talk about this turnaround, coaches Tom Merlin and Tim Mascari will be here. Alex Mosh, Will Fitzgerald, Cody Dickinson, Jake Burns, Max Beam, and Chris Kelly, all here in story to talk about the Cinderella story.
I think until they won the thing, they had no idea they thought they would. I mean, they have fine regular season. They were 10-4. But, CWA and Westhill have the track records in years past. They have the deep rosters. And Casanova was really almost an afterthought going into the thing. But it was hot Tuesday afternoon. I mean, it's almost 90 degrees out there. And then you see the scores come in, and then they're all like, we won? Really? But the thing also is the margin. 4 teams were separated by 2 shots at the end of a long tournament. Think about it. That's 1 3-putt, 1 2-putt, 1 big difference. And that decides an entire tournament among 18 to 20 golfers. Think of how many possibilities, or how many what could have beens the other teams were thinking about, and how Casanova has made a pretty remarkable thing. Maybe taking a sectional title at a school that's used to it in many other sports, but not golf.
You are right about that, Phil Blackwell from the Eagle News Papers. What else happened this week? So you're on the keto diet, I heard.
Yeah.
What's that keto diet? Is it?
It's basically
protein.
In essence, it's a lot of proteins and fats and not many sugars and carbs.
So getting away the diabetic type stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was kind of getting away from that anyway, but I still hadn't lost everything I wanted to. And my wife needed to get through more of it. And she needed it more than I did, but we gotta do it together.
Together.
The sort of thing that 2 people do together makes it easier.
I love it,
and it ain't easy. Trust me. But,
change your lifestyle, but you're both doing it together, which is wonderful.
And she's lost about 20 plus pounds already, so she's doing fine.
She must be dancing around the house.
No, not yet. But
all right, the good-looking Phil Blackwell. When we get back, lots of great interviews. I'm excited about this. Blake's in studio. Phil's in studio. My 2 boys in the house. And we're going to have the kids come in. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, we'll be right back. This, of course, is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show. Presented by SummitCars.com. ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show. Brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back on the program. Mike Bristol and the great Phil Blackwell. And Blake playing a little Minecraft right now. Then he'll be on with us hanging out. We've got in studio a great group of kids, and we've been talking a little bit about it before the broadcast here. Our SummitCars.com Spotlight interview members of the Casanova boys golf team. First, let's get right to the coaches. Tom Merlin, what's up, Tom?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. It's good to have you in studio. So tell me a little bit about the boys.
Well, I tell you,
the Cinderella story.
It definitely was. Phil quoted me last.
I love it.
Last day there, I said, from the outhouse to the penthouse. We were rough around the edges. To put it lightly, last year, how we played hard, but 4-10, we just didn't shine in the league. And this year it was a total turnaround, 10-4. The guys played hard. I have to give props to Will Fitzgerald and Max Beam. They lowered their averages by about 8 shots.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was huge. And new recruit Jack Burns stepped in big in the 6-man slot, shooting around 44, 45 this year, which really filled a gap. And go ahead, Timmy.
And you know what? The boys actually...
Tim, hold on, man. I didn't say anything, buddy. Come on. I'm just busting your chops.
Sorry about that.
Hey, hold on. Come on, Tim. So, Tim, let me introduce you at least. You're the assistant coach or co-varsity?
Assistant coach.
Okay, assistant coach. All right, Tim Mascari, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry about that. But what I was going to say is these guys actually came together as a group of guys, too. Not off the golf course. They became really close with each other, and there was definitely a team camaraderie that goes a long way in the matches.
I love it. I want to know how you improve your golf and you shave off 8 strokes. So who you said did it? Which 2 guys?
We've got Max Beam and Will Fitzgerald.
All right, so Max, why don't you jump in first? You're working on 100 yards plus. How'd you shave off 8 strokes? Where are you? Who's Max?
Right here.
All right, Max, talk to me.
I played a lot with my buddy Cody and Will Fitzgerald and Brody Coleman.
So you just started playing more or what?
Yeah, over the summer, we just every day went out, just played for fun. I worked on my shots. My driver improved a lot from last year.
So just keeping the ball in play, shaving off strokes pretty easy. All right, who else, Coach?
Will Fitzgerald.
Will, where are you?
Yeah, right here.
Will, jump in with that pink sweatshirt.
So I was at the range all the time working on the wedges. The wedges were the most important part of my game because then I made the putts.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Dynamite.
Will, you're the man. Let's talk to Alex. Where's Alex? What's up, Alex? Jump in, buddy.
How are you doing?
It's a good-looking shirt, too, pal.
Thank you.
Tell me, what's your favorite course to play?
I really like Seven Oaks down in Hamilton. It's very great shape there, down there.
Yeah, great shape. Favorite course all time, or no?
Yeah, I'd have to say so that I've played.
Get down to Florida at all, or any Carolinas?
I have once or twice, but
depends.
That was a while ago.
Gotcha. Talk to Will. Cody, where's Cody Dickinson? What's up, Cody? What's happening? Cody, what's your average?
I'd say my average was probably like 45 this season. Not too good. But.
I think it's not too bad, though, either. So tell me a little bit about your game. What do you like doing? What part of the golf you like?
I like hitting my driver.
Everybody does, like smashing the ball.
Tell them about your breakout round at sectionals.
Oh, let's hear about it.
Yeah, I wasn't playing too well at the end of the season, and then, I don't know, I just went to sectionals, didn't really think much, and tried my best round of the season. So.
He crushes the ball.
What'd you turn
over 300.
Wow. What driver do you use?
The TaylorMade M6.
Yeah, very nice. Jack Burns. What's up, Burnsy?
What's up?
What's happening? Get nice and close to the microphone. Casnovi Hoops. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
What's your first love for sports-wise?
Baseball all the way.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Then hoops and then golf?
Yeah, probably.
Right. Tell me about your golf game.
It got a lot better throughout the summer because I played a lot throughout the summer with a lot of my friends. And then when it came to varsity golf, I played a lot then as well because we practiced every day.
What course you guys playing during the summer?
I played the golf club, Cas Golf Club.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. All right. Max, we talked to you, but let's talk to you again. Where's Max?
Yeah, right here.
So, Max, when you look at this team, what have you been the most impressed with overall? You put the microphone right in front of you, buddy.
Everybody has improved a lot since last year. That's obvious. But also just how much we have each other's back also.
Right.
Like every time we play, I know no matter what score you come in with, your team's always going to be on your side, and they're going to hold you up.
Very cool. Chris Kelly. Where's Chris? Chris, what's up? You just got a fresh trim, didn't you?
Yeah.
What's going on? All right, tell me about your golf game.
I've worked a lot over the summer. Cas Golf Club, playing with Jack, Alex, Liam Colligan. Just putting a lot of work, driving range, stuff like that. So
good job, buddy. All right, Coach, let's bounce back to you. So, Tom, let's go to you for a second. So you look at all week long, and I guess how cool for you it's been, that go around school, you got your sectional championship T-shirts on, everybody's fired up. Tell me about the whole school.
As far as Cas goes, in general?
And just the fact you guys won and
they were ecstatic for us. I've never had so many kids come up to me in the hallway and just say, congratulations, Mr. Merlin, and it's awesome. They put some announcements on. Our principal, Ms. Hagan, she announced to the whole school. I think these guys were blushing in class when that happened. But golf goes overlooked sometimes as not being a real sport, and I challenge anybody to play it who thinks
I don't know if
that
that's
way.
like that anymore. Not anymore.
You think it changed?
Yeah, because it's a ridiculous amount of skill it takes, just the emotion, the combination. So, Tim, let's go to you here for a second because I know you're fired up to get back on the microphone. 4-10 a season. Give me your biggest explanation for the turnaround.
Well, maturity from Alex Mesh and Will Fitzgerald, getting bigger, stronger, hitting the ball a little bit farther, obviously working on their game.
Yeah.
And then just we got some guys. I coach baseball at Cas too, and we got some of the baseball guys playing, like Jack Burns.
So you got the swing though. You got your golf swing and your baseball swing. How did that work out?
Well, it's not that hard to dissect it because in baseball you want to keep your hands inside the ball. Shoot the ball up the middle, opposite field. Kind of the same thing with a good golf swing. Go. Hit towards second base. And,
aim to the target.
And you know what? This is a group of a bunch of athletes too. So that, when you're multifaceted athletes, I think that helps with any sport. So it's a great group of kids and great group of athletes.
All right. Alex, you're a freshman, right?
Yes, I am.
Leading throughout the season.
Yeah.
You're the man. Mm-hmm. So, I like the confidence, young man. Tell me about kind of leading the way, setting the tone for these guys.
I didn't play great during the season, but I turned it around in sectionals, and I couldn't do it without my teammates with the win.
Very good. I like it. What could still improve with you?
My consistency with the striking the ball well.
How do you do that? How do you fix that?
Range work and just dropping balls in the fairway.
You have a pro that works with you, or do you have a coach?
I do.
Besides,
I work with Dennis Colligan at the golf club.
Oh, okay.
He's helped me a lot over the years.
Have you changed your golf stroke year to year? Have you kept it the same? When have you?
I've tried to keep the same. I changed it like a little every year, I'd say.
Gotcha.
Not major.
All right, Coach, let's go back to you. You faced us here. West Hill, Skinny Atlas CBA, and did you look at those teams and look at the fact that 18 holes, sectional tournament, expectations still modest, but what you're able to do? How did you go into each match?
Every match, we tried to psych these guys up. There's no question about it.
Get them all fired up.
I brought music on the bus, handed out Pro Vs, try to make it special.
Nice. Let Tim talk.
Yeah. But when we play these matches, the home team definitely has an advantage when we travel. There's no question about it. What was interesting about the sectional championship win is I told these guys as we exited the bus, I said, we're on a neutral site. This is anybody's matchup, and I love that we came in like a third place spot. I thought we were in a good position to actually take it, and they exceeded my expectations, and I thought they just played fantastic.
I love it.
I got to give a shout out too, if I can.
Yeah.
3 guys that aren't here right now who are big players on our squad this year: Ben Orbach, Dan Lyons, Aiden Hausman. Those 3 guys competed in some matches, so I want to recognize them and the rest of the team. We love you guys.
All right, we're going to go through. I'm going to ask all you guys this question, but Tuesday, Rogues Roost, I know is hot. Let's talk about the advantage in terms of whatever you want to call it. Tell me about that matchup and playing that course. Alex, why don't you start things out? Go ahead.
All right. It was a hard day to get through it. It was really hot towards the end of the round. You just got to keep grinding and see what happens.
Yeah. Will, how about you?
Yeah, so I love the warm weather. The day wasn't going well. Had a big slice on the driver, but I was really good at my punch shots that day.
Very nice. Cody?
We're pretty much used to just only playing 9 every time, so getting through 18 was kind of a lot, but we just had to push through.
You wanted a caddy.
Yeah, definitely.
Jack?
That was the first time I ever played that course, so it was my first time experiencing all the holes. Again, it was hot, and I don't normally play 18 holes that often, so that was probably one of the harder things that I had to go through that day.
Max, how about you?
Well, while we were in the bus right before we went off, Mr. Merlin told us to just play our game and not worry about the other people. And I think that really helped all of us and even helped us secure the win.
All right. Chris?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a challenge, but, got through it, got the win, so it's all that matters, right?
Who gets fired up on the team? Who's the one that's like seconds away from tossing a club but keeps it together? Or has anybody tossed a club? All right, let's hear it. All right, go ahead. Jump on. Let's go. Cody, go ahead.
Well, I try not to get mad all the time.
But sometimes you get fired up.
Yeah, I can
Often?
get mad. Yeah, if I hit my driver right into the woods, I usually don't throw clubs, but I have.
You have done it.
Don't tell me that.
Did you have to go fish it out?
I know, I've never thrown it in a pond, but I have thrown it into woods and stuff.
Oh boy, that's funny. My buddy tossed a putter, and it was up in a tree and got stuck up in the tree. He shook the tree and came down. Max, so who else did? You got fired up before? Who else got fired up? Tossed a club.
Max makes them all laugh. I know that.
Oh, you do? Max, you're the jokester on the team?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Good job. All right, Coach, back to you. Let's talk about what's been done, walked in. You look at the scores. And you look at, I guess, competing and how you're able to compete. Talk about next year and what the team will look like.
Next year, we're losing 2 big players. Will is graduating. Max graduating as well. So we're looking to fill that slot with a 42, 43. We do have a very young team. A couple guys coming up the ranks. Liam Colligan, Nate Brown, 7th grader right now, soon to be 8th. They can do it, but it's going to be difficult. I mean, the league sees us as a young competitor, but I'd love to see somebody shoot those 41s, 42s.
Yeah. Tim, how about you? What are your thoughts next year?
Yeah, losing Will and Max is going to be hard to replace, but as these guys, again, continue to, Friday I had Alex and Jack in the weight room, so if they keep working out, getting stronger, hopefully that'll drop their scores, and then some of the young guys can step up. But, losing Will and Max is going to be tough to replace as far as leadership, too. They did a nice job with like I said earlier, the team camaraderie and stuff, so that's going to be tough, but I know that these guys are going to work hard and do it.
Sounds like you guys play, pretty much everyone plays all summer long. You guys pretty much play all summer long. And then you guys also do hoop leagues, baseball leagues, any of that kind of stuff too. You mix it in, so you guys are kind of doing sports also. It's nice too. 2, 3 sport athletes are always the best athletes, And it's good that you're using different muscles and different what have you. So, anybody had any serious injuries? Any injuries on the team?
You.
What'd you have? Go ahead.
Well, I tore my labrum in my hip 2 years ago. No, I had hip surgery 2 years ago, and then this past lacrosse season, I tore my labrum in my shoulder.
Oh man!
So I dislocated it the beginning of the season. But
did you feel it in golf at all, or what?
Well, not really.
Rehab?
Sometimes my shoulder will hurt, but not really. But it's just dislocation, tore the labrum. So I have to get surgery soon.
When's that?
Well, I was supposed to get it this August, but I thought our golf team would do pretty good this season, so
nice, smart guy.
I decided to go through golf season.
Smart guy.
So it was worth it. Yeah.
That a boy. Good job. All right, Coach. Kind of sum things up for us here. How proud you are of these guys?
Oh, words don't do it justice. I've been wanting to put our year on a banner in that gym for so long. This is my 11th season coaching. We've always been about a second or a third place team, and these guys proved that they could be a number one team in the league.
Very nice. Guys, give yourselves a big round of applause. Incredible job. Philly, you got anything? Why don't you jump in? You got anything real quick?
I have to say, I think I've never seen before a sectional tournament decide. I mean, you are literally the example of what it is, but 1 or 2 shots can make a difference given how close it was at the end between the 4 teams at the top. So it just says something about this game is that you have to pay attention to, when they talk about 1 shot at a time and every single shot, this was a literal example of that. And Casanova pulled it off, so...
That's right. Good job. All right, boys. Thanks for coming in studio. Real quick, I want to talk about one thing before a shout out for each of you guys. So really, really quick. Coach, you guys go first. Give a shout out. Tom Merlin, go ahead.
Shout out to anybody I want?
Yep, anybody you want.
Christy Chiarello, Jane Merlin, Greg Broden.
Good work.
Mom,
Tim,
Dad.
Good job.
My entire baseball program that I coach at Kaz, and my loving fiance Elise.
Nice job. Alex.
Say Chiarello.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad and my little brother for taking me to the golf course, playing with me, and just pushing my limits.
Very cool. Will.
Mom, dad, whole team for golf, and the entire school.
Cody.
I'd like to shout out my grandpa for getting me into golf and all my friends for playing golf with me all the time.
Big Jack.
I'd like to shout out my whole family and all my friends and the whole school that supported our whole golf team as we went to sectionals and all that other stuff.
Max Beam.
I'd like to shout out my mom and my dad. And my dad, because every time I had any swing issues, I'd just talk to him and he'd help me out.
Good job. Chris.
Like to thank the team.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can say
I'd also like to thank the team. It was fun playing with you guys for my last season.
All right, Chris Kelly.
I'd thank my mom and dad, and also my both my grandpas for getting me into golf. So
very nice. All right, Casanova boys golf team. Awesome job, boys. We'll be right back. ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out with Phil and I. Inside High School Sports Show. And our Wegmans winning spotlight interview members of the Cicero North Syracuse boys golf team. And boys, welcome in studio. What's happening?
Thanks for having us.
All right, good to have everybody in studio. Let's first go around the clock here. Coach, what's going on? Chuck Banks, what's up, Coach?
It's great to have us here.
Let's get close to the microphone. There you go. Yeah.
We're sharing it here.
Yeah. So you guys make sure whoever has it, just put it in front of you.
Gotcha.
There you go.
We appreciate you having us here this morning. The guys played great on Wednesday over at Radisson, and we got the job done.
So the blue team was near the top of the standings. That wasn't a big surprise. The North Stars were able to hold off FM, Baldwinsville, and West Jenny in the sectional Wednesday at Radisson Greens. Talk about FM, Baldwinsville, and West Jenny real quick. Break each one down for me. Let's talk about FM for a second, Coach.
Well, FM, like us, they have 2 teams. This year they had the green team, which is similar to our blue team.
Yep.
And their white team is similar to our green team. Those guys are solid. They have 9 players on their team, and I would say probably 6 or 7 of them are shooting below 40s for their average,
well,
which is tough when you go into their place over at Woodcrest. And when they came to our place too, Lakeshore, they got us by 3 strokes.
Oh, nice.
Beeville,
yep.
Beeville's got 6 solid guys too. We went there on Monday to Timber, and they got us by a couple strokes. But when they came to our place, actually DJ came in with the last card, and we got him by a stroke.
Nice. West Jenny.
And West Jenny, that was the big surprise, I think, with the sectionals.
Yeah.
They did it last year, and as a matter of fact, I told these guys, I said, you know what, the last couple of years, the teams that have been 8-4, which has been West Jenny, has gone into sectionals and got the job done. Mike Wolf does a nice job out there.
That's really good. All right, and talk about your team. Let's just overall, how impressed, you were this year.
Well, you know what? We talked at our year-end gathering yesterday about surprises. And I said, you know what? I wasn't surprised on how well we played on Wednesday because we've been doing that all year, but we haven't been all together. We've had 3, 4, 5 guys shooting in the 30s, low 40s. But I said, fellas, here's what we need to do. We just need to put everything together in one day, and that's what we did.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, let's go around the clock. Ryan Cisco, say hello to everybody, Ryan.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Cisco? What's good with your game, Cisco? What's the best part, Ryan?
Probably my short game.
Short game, which is what it has to be. You practice that the most?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All right, what's your average?
I think it was a 38.9.
Look at you. Solid. Brian, what's up? Pellegrino.
How you doing?
What's happening?
Not much. Excited to be here.
Good to be in studio?
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about your golf game.
Most solid part is probably off the tee.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't say that.
Yeah, no.
That's good. That's very good. Jake, what's up, pal?
Hello, very good.
Nardoza?
Yep.
What's up, Jake? Tell me about your golf
very good
game.
to be here. The best part of my golf game probably is teeing off, probably with a 4-iron, my ball striking.
Nice.
I'm working on my short game, though, and I'm getting better every day.
What's your average?
39.1.
Nice. Brian, what's your average? I forgot.
Something in the low 40s.
Nice. Very good. All right, DJ Villeneuve.
How are ya?
What's up, DJ?
I'm doing great.
You got a fresh trim for this, didn't you, too? Did you get trim this morning?
No, yesterday.
Yesterday.
I was say did it last night.
Yeah, getting all ready for studio. Tell me about your golf game.
My best part is probably my mid iron, 5, 6, 7 iron.
Very good. What's your average?
I think 42.3.
42.3. Coach,
Yeah.
you play it all with the boys, or you just get out there? And...
You know what? I play on occasion, not all the time, because we're spread out on the course.
Yeah.
It's tough to get out there. Now, I want to say that each of these guys are probably a stroke higher this year. We split it with the blue and green team this year. The blue team went out to Lakeshore.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is a tougher track.
Yep.
And the greens, the week that it was 85 plus degrees for 4 or 5 days, the greens were like putting on this table right here.
Right.
So
right.
a couple 3 putts that we had, but they did a great job.
All right, very good. Ryan, let's go to you here. You're close to your sectional titles for years. How satisfying was it to finally get this Wednesday?
Oh, it was great. I've been with the program for 5 years, and we won the league in 2017, but we never got a sectional title, and it was good to bring that home to CNS.
Bring it home. Brian, how about you?
Yeah, it was just an awesome experience. It's a perfect way to ride out the career, and makes me really hopeful for the future of the career with these younger guys coming up. They'll get a few more.
Nice. Jake?
It's really good to win the sectional title. It just kind of shows that you don't need a medalist on your team. You just need to have everyone put in decent scores, and I think we had 5 qualifying scores that counted, and that's what mattered, and that's what brought it home.
No question. DJ?
I enjoyed it. I haven't been golfing for the longest time as these guys have. I've only been on the team for 2 years. So I think it's really nice to bring it home and get it for our school.
That's really good. Coach, let's talk about, real quick, hold on, we've got our SummitCars.com Spotlight interview.
Oh.
When you look at the conditions, you knew there wasn't going to be low scores. Was that to your advantage?
We're talking Wednesday?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We told the guys that the conditions might change as the day goes on. We had multiple emails and text messages saying, hey, listen, prepare yourself as best as you can. And there might be a time where it's going to rain hard or whatever, and bring extra towels, bring extra gloves or whatever. And we didn't get that throughout the day. About noon, they had about 4 or 5 holes to play, and but these guys have played in those conditions. Actually, this fall is probably a little bit wetter than the past falls, and we had a chance to play and practice in the rain, so they were prepared.
And ready to go. Phil, go ahead. Why don't you jump in? Phil Blackwell from the Eagle Newspapers. We're talking with the members of the Cicero North Syracuse boys golf team.
What was the biggest challenge for the guys that were playing on Wednesday? You mentioned, yes, there's still pretty challenging conditions. When you play and it's, cold and it's, a little wet and you got some wind blowing, what's the most difficult factor in playing in those conditions? Is it the fact that you lose distance maybe on your drives because it's going to be colder, or is it concentration? Or what's the most difficult aspect of it? And anyone you can answer that. Like DJ, for example.
So I think it forces you to start managing your game in a more precise way. There's certain decisions that you have to make on a golf course, especially in those conditions. And I think it's important that in those conditions you make the right decisions, because that's going to affect your score the most.
And Brian, what would you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. It really depends on the golfer. It really makes whatever the worst part of your game is, it kind of exaggerates that a little bit. So if your ball striking isn't the best, it's going to be colder, and your ball striking is going to be worse. if you tend to hit behind the ball, it's going to be more wet, so you're going to get under the ball more. So you just got to really focus on honing in your game.
And Zach, what would you say about that too?
I'm going to say that it's probably the unpredictability of it. I don't really think it's one specific thing. I just think it's very hard to predict what's going to happen, especially in wet conditions, windy, whatever the case may be.
And also, I thought Ryan, you would say that too.
I think the rain's toughest to play in because gripping the club gets very difficult, and especially the wind too.
You wear a glove or you go?
Yeah, I wear a glove. Yeah.
All you guys wear a glove or no?
Yeah.
I don't understand the non-glove thing. Explain that. I know some people probably like the natural
feel. I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, Freddie Couples always had the thing where he never wore gloves like ever. And but
a lot of the guys.
No, that's the one I think of the most. But anyway, he was
Coach, you a glove guy?
Well, like Phil said, it's a feel thing, and if you see most putters when they're putting on the green, they take it off, or it's a feel thing. So it's personal preference. You see. Tommy Two Gloves from way back when that he wore. Right. He wore the two gloves, and he was probably a baseball player at one time. And, we saw some guys with rain and winter gloves on the other day because it was wet and cold. So it's personal preference.
Different feel. All right, let's go around again, guys. Regular season, FM beat you twice. You split with Baldwinsville. Matches obviously were close. Let's talk about those. Ryan, why don't you jump in? Talk about that.
FM's a really tough team. They got a couple good players. They got Adam Butch, Velton. They're just a really good team.
You guys ever talk on the course?
Oh yeah, we're good friends.
All you guys are buddies, or is there some trash talking sometimes?
Or is
it like fun trash talking?
There's a little chirping here and there, but
no bets.
Oh no, no. Oh no, but FM's a great team. Beeville's got a couple good players. All those matches were very close. Couple strokes here and there. We could have won.
Right.
We lost.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Brian, how about you?
Yeah, like you said, they got some great players out there. Sometimes you pull it out, sometimes you don't. Depends on the day.
Nardoza.
Yeah, like these guys said.
Yeah.
Like these guys said, it was 3 strokes seemed to be the number this year. They were all very close matches. FM's a very deep team. Their 5 guy will come in with a 35, whatever it may be. They're very tough to beat. But I think at Lakeshore, at our home course, I think we're a force to be reckoned with, and I think we're hard to beat there.
Very nice. Villeneuve. How about you, Villeneuve?
I agree with all these guys. What they said is pretty spot on. I think that FM's such a consistent team is really what their strength is. But as Jake said, I think when we're at Lakeshore, it's hard to beat us for sure.
I just looked at my phone. I got a text message, but this must have been earlier from one of my buddies talking to me about ripping on Alex, but I can't because he's already got out of the studio. Is he a good golfer? From Casanova? You guys know his game? Come on, you guys.
They're in a different league than we are.
But you don't know like the other golfers? You guys just pay attention to whoever you're playing that day, right?
And the course.
And the course.
Playing the
That's
course,
right.
as coach would say.
All right, right before the sectional tournament, you lost at Baldwinsville. That's got to give you some extra motivation to get you guys fired up. Is that kind of what happened? Exactly what happened or what?
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough loss. It's your last match of the year.
Were you ticked off?
Yeah, I mean, you get a little ticked off. You
a little bit of edge.
Get a little angry, yep. And it makes you really want to get out there and beat them that much more.
DJ, you fired up?
I think that, I think it does. I think it gives us a little more motivation to want to go out there. But I think, us knowing that we could have beat all of these teams this year gave us some motivation going into the sectional tournament.
That's a pretty good answer. Good job, buddy. I like that. Coach, let's go to some degree. I guess you look at pressure. FM had won the regular season title. Beeville was playing a relative home game. Talk about pressure with teams and your team going into certain matches.
Well,
and getting focused.
As Ryan just said that, and when we talked about it all the time, and we talked about it more yesterday too, that we have to look at it as, yes, we're playing another team, but we're playing the course.
Right.
So manage your game, as DJ said. Manage your game.
DJ.
Yeah.
Yep.
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, that's
right. So
DJ
we go into it with, okay, they're just observing what we're doing. We're playing the course.
Yep.
You play your game. You do, and we talked about on the bus to the sectionals. Listen, play what you do on a regular basis. Don't change your game for who you're playing with and the course, and you'll be fine.
That's good. Ryan, let's talk about your home matches. Lakeshore Country Club. Talk about Lakeshore.
Yeah, Lakeshore's a tough course. Greens are really fast. Long par fives. Tough to get up and down on that course.
Cisco. I like it. Brian Pellegrino, give it to me.
Yeah, that course definitely gives us an advantage in our home matches because we get to understand and play that difficult
Is
course.
that why you change courses, Coach? You're like, hey, let's try to.
Well, you know what? We had an opportunity to get out to Lakeshore, and David Seifertz and Zach Vinyl did a nice job in letting us out there, as well as the one of the owners, Guy Hart. We have two teams, and it would have been a little bit easier for managing the practices and the matches if we went to Northern Pines with a green team and us out at Lakeshore. And the fact that, as Ryan just said, that it's a little bit harder. The greens are tougher to putt out there, that preparing for a harder match like an FM or a Beeville. And even Liverpool had a couple great guys too. And get us ready for the sectionals.
Yeah.
And eventually for the States, because we're sending 5 guys there.
That's great. Jake, how about you? Talk about the course.
Lakeshore is obviously really difficult. I think obviously it gives us an advantage for people who come play us there. It tests every part of your game. Short game. It's pretty narrow. So off the tees it's difficult, and I think it really does test every part of your game. Sees if you're a true golfer.
Nice. DJ, what's your favorite part of the season for you?
My favorite part was...
Is it getting ready? Is it the matches? What is it?
The pizza after.
The pizza after. Yes, the pizza afterward. No,
where's the pizza come from?
The pizza comes from...
Where do you guys order? Where do you guys make it?
Depends.
What's your favorite pizza?
I like Cam's. Buffalo chicken.
Okay, so you got to go with that.
Yeah.
All right.
For
Dessert?
sure.
What's your favorite dessert?
I'm a big cheesecake guy.
Cheesecake.
Oh, New York style. Got to go with it.
All right, I like that. Instead of talking about anything else, Jake, how about you? Favorite pizza?
Favorite pizza, probably Cam's.
Cam's.
Just
Dessert?
cheese pizza. I don't really have one.
You're not sweet.
He liked Cam's because it was the extra large pizzas, and we got the largest slices there.
Water's probably my favorite dessert. I don't really have a
dessert.
I don't know. Nope.
Wow. Pellegrino.
Got to go with Cam's too. It's some really good pizza.
Dessert.
Also cheesecake.
Cheesecake. All right. Cisco. Yeah.
Favorite pizza, probably Palladino's.
Yeah,
classic cheese. Favorite dessert, I don't know, probably some Superman ice cream.
What's in the
Superman? We don't know that one.
What's in there? Is that
Mario and
Ben & Jerry's
Salvas.
or
We got to give a shout out to them too over by
good.
Drumlins.
Hey, what's in Superman ice cream?
Oh, I don't even know. It's like red, blue, and yellow. It tastes so good.
Makes sense.
Doesn't matter. Just taste it.
Oh, it tastes so
Makes
good.
sense. All right, boys, give yourselves a big round of applause. Cicero North Syracuse boys
Thank you very
golf
much.
team in studio. All right, quick shout out. Cisco, who do you want to give a shout out to?
My boy Darren Townsend. I mean, he couldn't make it. He was camping. He shot 82.
Nice.
And Andrew Bernazzi.
All right, Pellegrino. Shout out.
My brother Justin Pellegrino. He was on the team before me, and he really started blazing a path for me.
I remember that. Jake.
I want to give a shout out to my father. He's the one who taught me all about the game. I
cool.
want to thank Coach here, and yeah.
DJ, spin it.
I want to give a shout out to Joey DeGroat, our best favorite player, Joey DeGroat, and I want to give a shout out to my dad. He really pushes me to be better in golf and in everything I do in life.
That's awesome. All right, boys. Thanks for coming in the studio. Phil, you got something?
We got a text from the Cavs people. Watch it. Look what it says.
Phil, Kaz is listening on the radio. Cavs versus CNS next year, non-league. Broadcast the match.
Hey, let's do it. Broadcast the match. Yeah, let's get video.
They don't want none of that.
Well, Ryan's not going to be here for that, so.
Look at Cisco's already talking
We'll come
trash,
watch.
Kaz.
I'll be on the bag for Jake.
Just kidding.
I will be right back. ESPN Radio 97.7 100.1.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, Mike Bristol, Phil Blackwell, and we've got Blake Bristol here in studio as well. Phil, what's been happening in your world?
Well, lots been happening. I think we kept it a little bit earlier in the program, but I think we should pretty much keep people up to speed on what's going on, especially the first month of football now that we're really now toward the second half of the regular season. In the Class AA divisions, Utica, Proctor, and Liverpool have emerged as the teams in front. The Raiders knocked off Baldwinsville in what was a first-place duel, 34-17 last night. They've been getting big numbers all season long from running back Tayshaun Cooper. He almost has 1,000 yards rushing. He had almost 200 yards yesterday against Beeville as they took control of that division. Although they still have a game left with CNS, who started 1-2. In fact, Rome Free Academy beat CNS.
Whoa! But
then the Northwest have won the ensuing 2 games, and they're 3-2 after they beat West Genesee last night. In the other division, it's been Liverpool, and they had to come from behind yesterday, down 21-7 to Corcoran. But then the Cougars quarterback gets hurt. The Warriors force some turnovers. They get 2 touchdowns off of it. They ultimately win 22-21. So Liverpool is again positioned to win the Class AA1 division, and they're in a good maybe position to have an undefeated regular season. In Class A, where you've got 6 pretty good teams, suddenly Carthage is the team to beat. They merely beat Indian River, the number 4 ranked team in the state, 51-8 last night.
Wow.
They just ran over a team that had been running over everybody else the week before. Fambo Aza had 3 touchdowns, including a 55-yard run for the Comets, and they had 2 defensive touchdowns. I mean, Carthage is suddenly the team to beat more so than anybody else in the Class A ranks. We mentioned the Salve Marcellus game last night. Obviously, that's the story in the B West. But in the B East, it's been Oneida and New Hartford, who are both 5-0 after the Indians beat Mexico last night and the Spartans knocked off VVS. And you also had in B East last week the most bizarre result you will ever see. Cazenovia played at VVS. After they'd lost their first 2 games, they'd beaten Chittenango. So they go to VVS and win 4-0.
What?
4-0 with 2 fourth-quarter safeties. Wow. That was probably the only Section 3 high school game in history to ever end 4-0. Only 2 college football games in the first decade of the 20th century ended 4-0.
Wow.
So I've seen 3-0 games, but never 4-0. And the soccer team scored 5 a few days later against Chittenango.
Blake, what radio station are we on? Hey, Mr.
He wants none of it, man. He wants... But actually, now turning to Class C, for the longest time we thought, well, Skenos is going to dominate Class C like they did Class B. And they did start 4-0, and they dominated a lot of their opponents. But Cato Meridian showed them last night a 40-0 beatdown by the Blue Devils, which puts them at 5-0, and the top ranks with Lowville, who have run through everybody up north, and this week scored 65 points against Adirondack, as the Red Raiders just keep rolling through everybody as well. The top team in Class D is Frankfort Schuyler. They beat Sequoia Valley last night to move to 5-0 on the season, the Maroon Knights, to go to 5-0. And Dolgeville's overtime victory over Onondaga has the Blue Devils at 4-1, maybe the closest challenger to the Maroon Knights. Finally, in 8-man football, Weedsport remains the dominant team. It's amazing. They had like a small roster last year. This year they have something like 30 to 35 kids playing 8-man football. Wow, so they could still play an 11-man. But the case in point, they scored 62 against West Canada last night. They had like 70 against Bishop Grimes the week before. You also have South Louis having a great start. They're 3-0 among the 8-man teams as well, the Falcons. So,
all right, well, we're going to take a break, Phil. I think we might have another minute or two. We'll be right back. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1. And 100.1. And 100.1. And 100.1. And 100.1.